A beautiful evening to you. You're welcome to Sports Extraordinary on Atlantic Television Network. My name is Kingsley Mano. Very happy to be back here to bring you another exciting edition for the show today. On today's edition of the show, we're going to take a look at some interesting issues revolving around the beautiful world of sport. We'll take a look at the latest coming from cricket, not forgetting, of course, the EFL Cup game between Arsenal and Newcastle United, tonight. Of course, it's here the semi-final of that particular encounter. A lot as well in the Nigerian Premier Football League. We'll take a look at all of this and many more on the show. So we'll urge you to sit tight as we have a lot for you. We'll be back after this short break. Stay with us. Welcome back to Sport Extraordinary on Atlantic Television Network, and of course today we have a lot for you on today's edition of the show. Joining me to do justice on the show is Ekpo Temple. We're going to be joining us today via Zoom. Good evening to you, Temple, and welcome to the show.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Good evening. It's a pleasure to talk sports.
All right, let's quickly take a look at cricket this evening, as the president of the Nigerian Cricket Federation, Pata, has said the board had set new targets to scale up the growth of the game in the country in 2025. Nigerian cricket recorded some unprecedented success in 2024, including winning bronze at the African Games in Ghana and qualifying for the 2025 International Cricket Women's Under-19 World Cup in Malaysia, marking the second time the country will reach a global tournament. And to build on the success of the previous year, Apata reviewed that the Nigerian Cricket Federation has mapped out areas the federation will improve, which include improving the current facilities across the country, commercialization of the sports, and improving the capacity of the national teams. What do you make of this target set by the president of the Nigerian Cricket Federation this year, Temple?
I think it's important to get to see what is happening in cricket. In the last half year, I've really seen the growth of cricket in Nigeria. I'm not surprised that Apata and his board really done a lot, because much was expected from them when they took over the affairs of the board. But not people would have thought that the board will come this far. Evidently, we have seen a lot of them. We have seen them participate in the TTI tournaments. We have seen what they've been able to do in the area of facility. Today, we celebrate at the Belarus Ekuta. So those celebrate the one we have at Edo State. So these are the inputs and things that we have seen from the federation. So if you ask me that if you want to, in terms of bringing up politics, the answer is, and within the simple, we knows what to do to change the narrative of cricket in Nigeria. And our guests are representing us, and they will represent us at the tournament in Malaysia. Let us forget that you just won almost all the cricket awards in Africa. This is courtesy of what pattern is born out of. And I think that they are in the right path. I just feel that to put in more effort. I feel that what they have said, 2025, so they need to apply all that they want. Then if they can achieve that, that will be glorious. But for me, if you ask me, how is going to implement the policies, how is visioning cricket, I think our partner with target already laid down. Because one thing is to have a target. The problem of some data, some of the boards have good plans, good formulated plans, but implementing those plans becomes a challenge. Only our partner has shown that those challenges cannot be his. Let us see how far it goes. I'm very certain of mistake that he will deliver on his market and the promises that he has, or the strategic plans and his board have applied to it.
All right, let's see how it goes. We hope that this will come to fruition. Talking about the target of the Nigerian Cricket Federation President Uya Pata, I think the man is looking very much optimistic to do more than what we saw last year. Let's just see how this one, of course, will pan out, for cricket down here in the country. But away from cricket, let's take a look at tennis on the show this evening. Novak Djokovic and new coach Andy Murray have practiced together in Melbourne for the first time before the first Grand Slam of 2025 begins on Sunday. Djokovic, who is targeting a record extending 11 Australian Open title and historic 25th Grand Slam crown, announced the surprise appointment of longtime rival and good friend Andy Murray to his team in late November. The pair, both 37, were born 7 days apart, but Britain three-time major winner Murray ended his playing career following the Paris 2024 Olympic Games in August. And the former rival partner during the off-season after Olympic champion Djokovic parted ways with a long-time coach Goran Ivanisevic. It is Murray's first coaching role since he retired, and footage today, the former number one closely watching men's record 24-time major winner Djokovic hitting at Melbourne Park. First of all, before we go into the chemistry so far between Djokovic and Andy Murray, first of all, what do you make of Andy Murray being the coach of Novak Djokovic at this point, Temple?
It happened, although that was very surprising, because not many believe that Andy Murray was saw that last season, will now be the one coaching Novak Djokovic. Nobody saw that coming. So if you ask me, I wouldn't have agreed to that, if you ask me. And I also feel that a lot has also paired him. But like Djokovic said, it's just part of the way to create a new pitch. To see an ex-player becoming a coach. I don't know how that marriage will work, but Djokovic is one player who is already good. So we get to see what he brings to the table. I am very, very optimistic. I think they can get something right. Don't forget, the last 4 years, Djokovic hasn't got it easy in the Australian Open. If that's going to be his best Grand Slam. So one is going to ask a lot of questions. You know, how both them age. But like I said, let's see how far. Is the new marriage, so see what marriage you have to offer. For me, I just think it will not be a right choice. It will not be a good choice too. But then, I mean, it's difficult to really tell how he ends. But for me, I think that so far, Djokovic has shown optimism that this man can deliver the mandate. It's a short-term project, a short-term contract between both of them. Let's see how it goes.
You know, talking about it being a short-term contract, and I think Djokovic just wants to maybe improve on himself, because he has also testified that, you know, there have been improvements in his pattern of play since he got that pairing with Andy Murray, of course, as his coach. I don't know what you make of it. How do you see this one panning out? Because Djokovic is actually going for his 25th Grand Slam. He's currently on 24 Grand Slam, looking forward to surpass that record of Margaret Court, making it 25th Grand Slam for himself. Do you see this pairing, this chemistry between Djokovic and Andy Murray delivering his 25th Grand Slam for Novak Djokovic? Mind you, the season is really getting interesting. Don't forget the likes of Yannick Sinner, world number one, will be coming up top at this point. Carlos Alcaraz, Alexander, the very impressive season last year. I don't know what you make of it. Do you see Djokovic with the chemistry we're seeing between him and Andy Murray taking up his 25th Grand Slam this January?
It's difficult to call, very difficult to say whether Novak Djokovic will get his hand on that Grand Slam to surpass Margaret Court is cannot, because Djokovic coming up with intention to win. The players, even I mean, battles. Yannick Sinner is also progressive. Don't forget he's the champion. So the competition, and you obviously got the best player on the court last. So that alone will tell. For Novak Djokovic, one has come at this Grand Open is one of the best slams where he has 50% chance of winning it. But how far he goes from here, how he will achieve it, is what I cannot optimistic that he can win it. One thing I do not know is the blend between him and Andy Murray in terms of tactics, in terms of strategies, in terms of the coach ability of Andy Murray to operate. We already know that Djokovic, is just need a touch, to get his hand on that trophy. Then he needs to do a lot of thinking, because just as he's also planning, other players and their coaches are also planning, and so it's difficult to tell. But one thing I know is Djokovic will do everything. That's one thing. Maybe get at least the later stage. If you get to the semi-final, get the possibility. I tell you, every player going to this particular knows that Djokovic stands tall to win it, and that's what he wanted. So he has that factor. But they're going to think they have the pair between him and Andy Murray will pan out. Can Andy Murray rejuvenate, get a good tactics to help him? Let's see how far it goes. But for me, I know that Djokovic is good any day, anytime. What he needs is just that emotional stability, psychological stability, and then he will blossom.
There have been reports about Djokovic saying that he's still being traumatized with what happened to him, in Australia. That was in 2020, where, of course, he was actually not being allowed to participate due to the fact that, he refused to take the COVID-19 vaccine. He actually came up to say that he's still traumatized with that particular incident. You think that might possibly have a way of affecting him going into this particular Australian Open?
I mean, it's normal. Last year was he not traumatized? The year before was he not traumatized? That happened in 2020. Okay, 2021, when he was supposed to be part of the when he failed vaccination. I mean, he refused to take to accept to be vaccinated, and of course a lot transferred. I think that all those are in the past. It's just part of those things that happens. No matter how, I mean, it's difficult to for that traumatic experience. I must tell you, the way he was treated by authorities, regardless of his war state at that time, they undermined it and did what they needed to do for the safety of the people of Australia. But like I said, Okogie is the bigger. He should go to manage the situation psychologically. That's what his team needs to do. Because not just handling, we have so that there are a lot of persons who are those who have always been by and they want to know what is happening. So I'm very optimistic that we'll get to see Djokovic coming out in a grand style. The experience will teach him to achieve success. The man I know is very, very intentional about what he wants to achieve. Last so that the only thing was missing in his trophy cabinet was the Olympic medal that he won last year. So he knows what to do to achieving success. Throughout, yes. Challenges, yes. Injury, no. Practice, I just think that all this he needs to put them together if he needs to achieve success at the tournament starting next week in Australia.
All right, at this point, I will take a break, and when we'll come back from the break, we'll move straight to the Nigerian Premier Football League. Man Ekpotempo, of course, will also give us his decisive view on some issues revolving around the Nigerian Premier Football League. We'll also see how to connect to our man in New York, Selma Morris. Of course, we got to report that Aqua United, they've officially unveiled Kennedy Broya as the coach of the team. So I will take a look at that as well on the show this evening, where we'll make a return from this short break. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
from the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economics, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Atn Sports Extraordinary on Atlantic Television Network, and of course we're bringing you the latest revolving around the beautiful world of sports at this moment. We're just being joined by Samuel Morris. Samuel Morris is a sport journalist in Uyo, and of course he's going to be telling us the situation of things as it concerns Aqua United. We told you that Kennedy Boboye had of course made a return to Aqua United at the moment. Good evening to you, Mr. Samuel Morris. You're welcome to Sport Extraordinary on Atlantic Television Network.
Good evening, Emmanuel. It's nice to be here again. I mean, I think the last
to of course continue his job as the head coach of the side. What do you make of his return to the team?
Well, I made it something that was expected at support. But when we saw them change it again and again, we've seen a number of coaches, the first things at Aqua United ever since that season, where they won the league title for the very first time in the history of the club, thanks to Kennedy Boboye, who was in charge, the man in charge at the time, and also the players at that time, 2019, 2020, about that season where they got that trophy and got into the Champions League. I mean, so it was something I thought the club would do, but at some point they did not do it because depending on the way they parted ways with Kennedy Boboye, it would look like, oh, we'll bring this guy back. Would he come back? Would he decide to come back? But I think I'm glad that they finally decided to bring Kennedy Boboye back, and it's just to wait and see how things pan out between the club and Kennedy Boboye.
It's been a struggling one so far for Aqua United, and so many seem not to know the reason for the poor performance. Some are saying the management, some are saying the players not really good enough at this point in time. What do you make of it? A lot of managers have come to struggle with these players. Do you see Kennedy Boboye, of course, bringing out the best from the players?
Well, I tell you, there was a time when you'd have cropped up players like Cyril Lisema. I mean, in recent times, we've seen even a player get to leave the club. He was one of the top strikers midway through the season. Akwa United brought him in. So Bon Friday also combined with him to ensure that he got a tally of goals that kept them afloat. But we've seen Cyril lead him at a point with give you those set pieces and would make good use of set piece opportunities. The club has quite a number of amazing players over the years. But in recent times, look at recruitment, problem from the part of recruitment, and you also look at the fact that, I mean, what's the point behind keeping Babaganero, after we helped the team? I think Nigerian football, you understand that Babaganero is like the Samaladis of Nigerian football, helping teams to get back from relegation and to actually secure a ticket and avoid relegation. I mean, I think he's been popular for that. But I was thinking that at the end of the season, the United will say, okay, now time for us to review, time for us to get things back on board, time for us to geek and work things out. Then they stuck to him, and it didn't look like that was the best option. I mean, there would have been a total, getting players. The fact that they were going to miss the services of someone like Bob Fry was one of their best starters, midway through last season. He came in last season and was one of the top scorers in the team. And so he left to Rivers United, and so what's the preparation, the recruitment, finding some improvement. I think one of their problems has also been in front of goal. I mean, being able to find the back of the net has also been a challenge for the team. And the way they've also capitulated in terms of conceding goals. So, I mean, for Akwa United, beyond recruitment, you also look at the fact that management, you sometimes don't want to look at a problem. We have to go down to the root. It can be easy to go, let's bring in new players, let's do this, let's do that. But what's this? How sustainable can that be? Akwa United has become like a brand as far as world clubs in the country are concerned. You can mention top clubs in Nigeria, and you get to look at Akwa United. You look at, for instance, African League. I mean, Akwa United was drafted in based several factors, and so Akwa United has gotten to that point where they are a big name and be handled that way. And so I think if we want to narrow down the problem of Akwa United, we'll have to go very down to the management, because a baby that is malnourished, a baby that is have issues, you can't say that the baby on its own is the problem. It's the handlers of the baby that you'll be looking at and say, what are you doing about this baby? What steps are you taking to ensure that this baby is not malnourished? This baby has a wound on the leg. How are you handling that wound on the leg? Because the wound can grow from the leg and affect every other part of the body of the baby. For Akwa United, it's complicated because there are several factors currently affecting the club. Recruitment, talk about coaching, you talk about, and all of these things will stem from how the club is being managed. Sometimes clubs have certain parts that they are not going their way, they are unlucky, but we've seen that being consistent. It happened last season, struggling in the relegation, and this season, midway through the season, it's the same story again. So it now shows that look, what's happening with the management of the club. Is the problem? Is the management not being supported as it should be? But you look at the issues, look at the play, the football play, you look at the recruitment, then you cannot, it will be hard, because you will not hear players say, being old salaries. You will not hear that happen. You will say, okay, maybe it's because of funding, or is that the players have been able to sign a deal and not say anything, or what could be the reason for all of that? So, but the management is all eyes will be able to get quick and say, let's go to the roots. Let's try to get to the roots of the issue and try to tackle the issue in the club. So I think there would be questions for management and what their plans would be as to how to navigate Akwa United to this very rough patch. And we have to be a very holistic approach. Would they need help? I mean, would they be open to have that X-ray, that open heart surgery, when you look and say, see, we have tried to manage the situation. I think this is a weak call for promise keepers to get their books right, to get to the drawing board, for the management to actually acknowledge that things have changed, the times have changed, and to understand the economy, understand several factors. But I think it will still be a management problem. If you go to a state and the state is not working, it's easy to say, oh, the governor, what is the governor doing about the situation of the team? So while this has lingered for the last season happened, this is still on, and believing, I'm hoping that the management will, and now they're bringing back Coach Kenny Baboye, that might be one of the steps in the right direction, and hopefully from there they can go on to possibly also look at if the players are not really the best of players, then by the end of the next season, if they struggle and ensure that they stay on and avoid relegation, they can actually acquire more players, bring in more players to the club, bring in quality players to the team, and actually build and ensure that open off the pitch and have this quality. Sports marketing is something that's very important. They need to also look at that player, fan loyalty, the different areas that the club can consider, and ensure that they run like a very proper club.
All right, so let's say it goes Kennedy Boy in, and at this point in time, according to Samuel Morris, the management, of course, seemed to be the problem of Akwa United. But let me get back to my colleague down here, Ekpo Temple. I don't know what you make of what Samuel Morris has said. Actually, tag the management of Akwa United to be the problem. First of all, Kennedy Boy making a return. How do you see this one panning out, Temple?
It's lovely. It's nothing bad about it. I mean, I was thinking coaches some coaches have left, some have come, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. All I know for sure is if they believe that is the man to get them to the level that they want again, then so be it. But our clubs are known for not having a definite contract with their managers. And we also what transpired during that era. After he won that league title with them, a lot of transpired, they could not hold him, and then he had to leave. He's a nonsense person because when it comes to his side, he expects that things will be probably done. And when those things are not there, the man takes a bow, and that's why he left. But let's see how far it goes. If he can reject the side, if he can get them back to winning ways. Because the way I'm seeing about United, if things are not properly done, they might be relegated, and but that's not what we want to see, especially the one from the south. So let's see how far. But like I said, the contract needs to be definite. Kennedy Boboye in the same time as moving from one club to the other. I don't know why. I do not know the kind of contract he signed with the club, but I want the contract to be definite so that we know the angle. The 3 years contract, 4 years contract, then we know, because it's becoming a journeyman, and it's
Temple, are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. All right, let's see how it goes. Just like you mentioned, Kennedy will gradually becoming a journeyman from Plateau United, Akwa United. He's coach Heartland. He's also coach Sunshine Stars. But let me get back to Samuel Morris. Samuel, what do you make of it? The last time Kennedy Boy was in Oyo, I think the fans, the Akwa United fans and the media actually placed a lot of pressure on the man. And he has to, of course, put pen to paper to resign in that particular one. This is, from what we're getting, he actually signed a mid-season contract. And of course, Akwa United are placed 19th on the log. This is going to be the second stanza of the season, with a few games to be played. Akwa United currently struggling in the relegation zone at this point in time. Well, the fans, of course, give him that time and not put a lot of pressure on him to deliver this time around.
Well, I mean, I think this is concerned. I mean, we saw John who, and for the very longest time, he was still there in the club, and for a while, not the longest time anyway, but still in the club, and he wasn't feeling that pressure. Yeah, at some point the pressure was high, and he had to go, or the club had to relieve him. I think for a club like Akwa United, and I think a club fans love football, and they wouldn't want to see their clubs languishing or performing poorly. So that pressure is expected. When you're in a small club with big clubs, as far as that club has an issue, you certainly know there's going to be pressure as far as that club is concerned. So I think this is something he could actually expect. It's something that he should and that's going to be on him at the moment. The club needs the fans wanting to see Akwa in redemption, get back to status quo, be a club that is to make sure that the Next of Champions becomes a ground. We've seen them lose matches at the Next of Champions. You know, it becomes a fortress for them. That's first thing that Kennedy Boboye, that's the first assignment that Kennedy Boboye would have. You know, coming back to coach Akwa United, he has to make that place a fortress for the club that they win. You know, ensure that they rally the fans' support. Fans would not be pleased coming out on a Sunday. You know that one of the religious places as far as Nigeria is concerned. Sure. So possibly the only Sunday they have to maybe relax with their family, go to church, relax with family and all of that, and then they come out the stadium and you know they are disappointed. They begin their week. Sunday is the first day of the week. I mean, it's something that starts their week in a bad note. The fans would begin to develop apathy towards the club, and so he has to ensure the first thing that he makes the Next of Champions a fortress for the team. They win all the matches there, and then he can try to get points away from home. And I think with that, I mean, there's still matches to the rest of the end of the season. I think that Akwa United will set this day after relegation and now sit down during the season at the end of the season to re-strategize and then ensure that either the coach gets the best players, that hopefully if Kennedy Boboye works, the experiments Kennedy Boboye the best players and that work with him and ensure that they give the very best for the club. Players that would be able to wear that badge, be proud of the badge, and give their very best on the pitch of play. And then the politics.
All right, let's see how all of this, of course, will pan out. The thing is the fact that Kennedy Boboye is back on the U, and of course, he will be looking forward to help Akwa United, to move up at this point in time. We told you they are placed 19th on the log, and we'll see how all of this will go. Temple, let me come down to you at this point. Victor Osimhen has fully committed himself to Galatasaray. As it stands, the man is saying that he's not leaving despite the January transfer window. We hear top clubs coming for him, Manchester United and the rest. But he said he wants to win titles with Galatasaray. What do you make of this decision of Victor Osimhen?
Victor Osimhen is trying to be a very good person. But I want to remind him that in football, there's nothing like, it's your business. There's no need of being a good person. Vicky van Dijk moved from his club to Liverpool, via the winter transfer season, window rather. So it doesn't count. Those emotions he's applying for me is not needed. It's not needed. He still has a issue with Napoli. It's all I did for Napoli, and all he feels Napoli have done for him. It's going to be a challenge for him, for them to let him go during summer transfers. And I think that he's also giving is too emotional to create for things. Don't come on, you just move the bigger club. Doesn't matter. So I don't really know the kind of deal that he signed this club. Maybe perhaps he brings in a lot of emotions. And for me, emotions don't football. He's on top form now. He also playing with Galatasaray in Turkey. And at the end of the season, what happens if he's so these are the errors that I think that he's making. Someone needs to advise him correctly. But for me, I don't think there's any emotions. If jobs come for you, move, go to the club, because they don't deal. I mean, nobody's catching. So for me, I just basically think that Osimhen is applying a solution, and that will endanger, his playing activity side. What if they don't get to win trophy at the end of the day? What happens?
And of course, Galatasaray, of course, they are top of their league, as it stands. Samuel, I don't know what you make of this decision from Osimhen. He said he wants to win titles at Galatasaray.
Well, I think players are quite very clever people, and you can be with your famous and especially when you are happy while your master and you make comments that you are not protected, you want more than okay. I think someone was out of that action, looking at the before he decided to look for that loan move in Napoli. So, I mean, right now in Galatasaray, Turkey, Osimhen is I think the household name. They lock in, they lock him in Galatasaray. He's a player that the fans are partners singing him and cheering him on. So that's something you do not really find, especially now when there's so much demand. But the thing about football is that you are good as your last game as football is concerned. So football is quite a very, when I say risky sports, just like several sports can be, and because of the risk, you can have an injury and you're out, and that's all. You're out. You can't get back to your best form. You could be club and tomorrow they say, we don't, they just put you on the bench possibly, and then you just rot away. Your career takes a nosedive. So football quite very risky. So decisions that are made football, you have to think very well and make the decision. For Victor, I just believe he might be making statements, know fully well that his club is giving everything at the moment. He most likely be looking actually for a way out. I mean, during this period, during the break in Tokyo, we saw rumors emerging of him being linked to a number of clubs. And while those rumors are not founded, some truth that Osimhen might be looking for somewhere else to go. He knows that Galatasaray have been in the talk. Yeah, Drogba was there in the Turkish league. I was there. I mean, he was there and then moved on, went on to Chelsea. So, I mean, it has been Napoli was supposed to be a point for him to get to either the Spanish Liga or play in the English Premier League or possibly get to play in Germany. And so, and possibly play one of the top clubs of the PSG in France. And those were possible options. Just we were looking at him leaving Napoli to either these leagues or either PSG in France. And up to now, that has not happened. But just like I said, I mean, football sometimes you have to also be patient. Sometimes because he could leave. We saw it in Hazard, leave to Madrid. And that was the end of his career. I mean, whatever how that one, it was a player that was very promising. That was very exciting. You watch him play and Chelsea, at least for Real Madrid, and you expect that he's going to get bombed there. The experiment does not work; it fails. So football sometimes you can't just really say this is how it's going to be. This is what it's going to be like. So if he's happy there, I think it's fine. All we can do is to wait to see what he decides to do next. As long as he's bargaining those, as long as he's his form is not tainted, I think at any point while he's on his side, Osimhen can actually find that big move, possibly to the English Premier League or to a top club in the Spanish League, Germany or France.
All right, away from Victor Osimhen, tempo tonight. Arsenal, of course, will be national against Newcastle United in the EFL Cup, and it is the semi-final encounter. I don't know what you make of it. Mikel Arteta, of course, looking forward to maybe give us now a title as well this season. What do you make of the encounter tonight? Say the semi-final stage of the game. You see Arsenal going through in this one.
Basically, I think it will be it's going to be a cracker because the Booking are in for something big. Try to win their first silverware this season, and this is an opportunity for them. And the good thing about this is that a lot will be changing. I mean, from the semi-final, we're going to see two again encounter, from both sides. And also, you take a look at the rules, the VAR rules that will be, implemented. A lot will change. Will also impact on how that VAR rule will also impact on how the game will be. Don't forget that the last time we saw was the finals last season, and so getting to see VAR, and being made public to the fans in the stadium, the first of its kind in the EFL Cup. That will be very dramatic. So let's get to see how all those will, impact on how the game will go. But the Gunners, they've managed to get to this level by winning the likes of Bolton, Preston Town, and Crystal Palace. And when you compare the games that the Magpies played, beat Nottingham Forest, it will be done, and then Chelsea and Brentford. So arguably, we think that you want to believe that Newcastle United are more in for something, this season. But then first game we played tonight at the Emirates. So Arsenal will just see the opportunity to see if they can get something. But I tell you, it will be an easy one. Newcastle themselves have been on a hot run. Isak is scoring goals left, right, centre. So Olente is also doing so well. I mean, a lot to expect them going to the Emirates.
All right, lastly on the show, Tottenham Hotspur have exercised the option to extend their captain Song Heung-min's contract until 2026. The 32-year-old South Korean joined the Premier League club in 2015 from Bayer Leverkusen, and since then Son has made 431 appearances and scored 169 goals, placing him fourth on Tottenham all-time scoring list. And with that, we'll call it a wrap on the show this evening. Special thanks, of course, to Samuel Morris, who joined us all the way from Oyo this evening. Thanks very much for joining us, Samuel. All right, special thanks to you, Tempo, as well, for joining us.
It's a pleasure.
All right, we'll be back tomorrow by 7 a.m. on Sports Talk. Do want to join us, as it promises to be another exciting time talking sport on Atlantic Television Network. Don't forget, Peace and Unity over the pathways to progress. You can go down to our different social media handles. The conversation, of course, continues right there. My name is Kingsley Emmanuel. Thanks for watching.